Okay, this is about my brother Joseph Wilcox. I recently created a YouTube account for him, basically for my entire family, to talk about him, to remember him. This is probably maybe the third video, I don't know. All I know is I just don't want him forgotten, and a lot of people out there have recognized my family members and told them that he has not been forgotten. And with me, it's 10 times harder, because me and him used to do everything together. We're brothers. Every time a car broke down, we fixed it. We would go to the range, and it wasn't like pulling teeth. Now, if I want to go to the range or something, I have to pull teeth of basically every family member I have, and that's getting really irritating. But he's like me. He's really into his computer, which apparently I had to clean out, since it hasn't been cleaned out since his death. His room was basically the same except for the newspaper clippings of what happened the day, the huge plaques made in his honor, the Medal of Honor or whatever it was that was given to him. And cops are constantly coming to my mom's house, introducing themselves, and again saying how much of a hero he was. In fact, we went to some hearing that showed the entire video again, all the way up to the psychopathic deaths, which I stopped recording way before then because I don't care about them. The only thing I recorded was that's my brother's death, because every time I see that video before he dies, in my mind, he is still alive. Now, most people won't think that way or won't care, especially since I'm not a religious person in any way, shape, or form. Neither was he. But it doesn't stop the feeling that, like I said, I can't fully accept he's gone. And I never will. So for those people who say you need to move on, it's been long enough, all I gotta say is screw you. It will never be enough. And since my daughter is 13, I have to constantly remind her of her brother and the things he did, so she won't forget about him. It's not easy to do. We have a shrine in our house for my brother and my grandmother, who basically died weeks apart. He got killed, and then a couple of weeks she had a massive heart attack because she could not handle losing her grandson. I mean, I don't know anybody who can handle that. And what's worse is, now, I'm probably wrong on this, but the parents of the people who killed my brother actually want us to forgive her. That's not going to happen. Forgiving her means I'm okay with what she did. No. I can hold on to this guilt or this pain for the rest of my life. It will never affect what I do daily. I mean, I have dreams of him, he is fine, and then I wake up and realize he's gone again, which just isn't fair. I mean, I don't have his temper, but at the same time, he got his point across. I mean, every time I needed help with something, he called, I was right there, and vice versa. When I accidentally shot myself, he's the one that brought me to the doctor's appointments just to get this stuff taken care of. I mean, if it wasn't for him, honestly, I wouldn't have a gun or a CCW, which I now carry everywhere I go. But still, people, if you're afraid to, I've seen this online a few times, and my sister's already made a video of this, so I'm gonna make a video that's not as nice as she put it. For one, the people who are telling other people to leave us alone, hate to break this to you, but you're making a decision for us without asking our permission. And if we think the media is hounding us, they ask our permission before they talk to us. So yes, if people see us and they recognize us, and as you can see the shirt I'm wearing, please feel free to come up to us. It just means you have not forgotten about him and what he did for everybody. There's really nothing else to say on that one. I mean, he went to that store, he tried, and unfortunately, he failed. He didn't realize there was somebody behind him. He shot him in the back like a psychotic coward. Yes, she was a coward, no matter what you say. I guess that's pretty much all I can say about that. The only thing that hurts is that I wasn't with him. Now, I know many people are going to say, well, there's no way you could have done anything. You both would have died. Wrong. We wouldn't have stood a step, but we wouldn't have been a step, I guess you could say, right next to each other. We would have put distance between each other, just in case the guy tried to go a different direction. And if I had caught a glimpse of her, I would have, most likely would have dropped her ass right then and there. Now, I know people will say, you never know if you could shoot somebody, but if somebody's aiming a gun at my brother, trust me, I will have absolutely no problem pulling the trigger, or simply just bum rushing her, knock on the ground, and tying her ass up. Just the way she did it, she just walked by, shot him, kept going. I mean, you have to have absolutely no morals, no soul to do something like that. Every time I go to my mom's house, I'm always expecting to see him. Always going into his room. I can't help it. And my mom's even having a more difficult time, because every time the conversation is brought up, she hits tears. I don't know anything about that because it's his mother. I rarely ever cry that often. I actually don't. The last few times I remember crying was when I heard he died. And, well, that was, I guess you could say that was like 30 years of pent-up fears, pent-up tears. But honestly, what the hell's wrong with you people? I mean, seriously, get a fucking life. My brother, Joseph Wilcox, died on June 8th, 2014, trying to do the right thing. He was a brother. He was an uncle. He was a son. He was a nephew. Now, if you see any of my family in public, my mom, anybody, do not hesitate to approach us and talk about him. It basically tells us he has not been forgotten.